Let me see. There we go. What's up, y'all? Bobby Humphrey. Mestizo eyes. Saw some Bobby Humphrey. What you niggas know about Bobby Humphrey? What's up, Vic FM? What's up, everybody in the chat? Come on in, it's now going live. What's up, Go? What's up, everybody joining the chat? I'm gonna make this announcement a couple times, but we had an interview today with Jaguar Wright and Dr. Short together on the Jaguar Wright Effect channel. I want y'all to check that out. It was a good one. Y'all know I'm a long time admirer of Jaguar Wright. First off, just musically, and then her telling the truth, and not her telling her point of view, I should say. So we're gonna talk about that. What's up, Rogish Neighborhood, Daryl Clay? Hey, Kenneth Berry, you been following me all this time, and you just now getting put up on spell by Blue Magic? Man, I failed you, my brother, my young brother. You just now getting put up on that, youngster? But better late than never. What's up, Dre Day, Mark Anthony? Appreciate y'all. Daryl Clay, Jay Smooth, PJ Allen, everybody up in here. I gotta roll some reefer. Do you mind? Do you mind if I roll some reefer? Do you mind if I roll some reefer? All right, cool. We'll roll some reefer, then get to talking. Push this back. It's these eyes. Yeah. Blue Magic and the Stylistics sound very close. It's easy to confuse Blue Magic with the Stylistics. They both got that same similar sound. But, what's up, Nandy Johnson? But earlier today, if you go to the Jaguar Wright Effect channel, Dr. Short and I, Odell and Jaguar got together for an interview. Let me turn this down because I'm too loud for me. There we go. It was a good interview. It was good, you know. You know, Dr. Short, like always, did most of the talking. You know, plus, you know, Dr. Short is my elder, so I don't, you know, when Dr. Short want to talk, he got to go. Let him go. I learned from Dr. Short. You know, we're not gonna have our elders here forever. So when they ready to talk, you got to go. But I get all my talking on right here on my channel by myself. So, you know, it was just dope, you know, listening to Dr. Short and Jaguar Wright go back and forth. And I'm a huge, long-time admirer of Jaguar Wright musically. And then telling the truth. She tells the truth. And I was glad I got to tell her today, you know, not face-to-face, but virtually face-to-face, that, you know, it's dope what she's doing, because do I personally know if the stories she say are right or wrong? No. But I will tell you this, being as close to music as I am and have been my whole life, and being an avid someone who studies music, the reason why I became like a fan of what Jaguar is doing, a few years ago, away from music as far as talking about the music industry, is because I know how corrupt and how much bullshit goes on in the music industry, the reason why I told her, like, the reason why I'm not a full-time professional drummer is when I got close to it when I was 18, I got close enough around it, I knew enough people in it, I personally made an executive decision to, like, yeah, nah, I can't do this music thing. Can't do it. Like, my heart was too pure to do music. Like, as far as how my relationship with music. You gotta do some other shit in your mind to get all the way. Like, when I talked to my father-in-law about it, he hated the music industry too. But for him, it was like, shit, this is money. I'm gonna flip these arrangements and compositions into money and fuck the rest. So he was able to psychologically block out a lot of the stuff. But even him, as he's got deeper and deeper into it, he didn't participate or go around. Like, down to the point to where he's turned down opportunities for his music to be featured on American Idol. He's like, he don't really fuck with the industry like that. It's bad. The music industry is just the music industry's bad, man. That's when it's like, especially like you get in my position where you get to know like a lot of vets in music and you listen to them talk about it. You and I hear a good song. They hear the trauma, pain, and torture it took for that song to be recorded and to get out. The music industry's bad, y'all. Like, y'all just don't know how fucking bad the music industry is. It's just bad, man. It's what they do to people, the way they chew people up and spit them out, the way they treat people, mistreat people, the way they neglect the talent and abuse the talent and elevate the less talented. It's bad. And so I don't know Jaguar Wright's stories. I wasn't there. But I do know that the things that she say is right in alignment with a lot of shit that I've heard in the music industry. And if you ever spent any time studying what really goes on in music, nothing Jaguar says is a surprise. Nothing. As a matter of fact, I think she'd be holding back. Music industry's poison, y'all. Y'all just don't understand. So I appreciate people like Jaguar who are willing to say what she has to say, because most people aren't. She's a whistleblower, And a lot of the casual fans just have love affairs with these singers and these rappers and these producers, and y'all don't understand the shit that goes into all that. So when you have someone like because I'm not willing to do it, I've seen some certain things, but what Jaguar does, hell, as much courage as I have, even I wouldn't do that, So I appreciate people like her, A lot of people don't, and that's fine. I'm not want to tell people how to think or what they shouldn't think. A lot of what she says, it does sound crazy. And I see how it can sound crazy to y'all. And I don't say that in a condescending way. I'm saying that from the point of view of, if you haven't had any personal access or know people personally. Hell, I had a homegirl that got used and abused by the music industry. And I told the story on here before. Right before the pandemic hit, like, the music industry took her, sucked her like vampires of all of her talent. And when they were done with her, they just kicked her to the curb. And she, here in LA, she walked in front of a subway. We only have there's literally only one subway line in LA. And one day she jumped off the platform and jumped in front of the subway and killed herself. And I don't know, I can't say, I know the exact reason why, because I hadn't talked to her in years. But I do know the last few times we talked about that music industry. And you guys just don't know how many good people that music industry done fucked over. And so we were talking about that. And we were also talking about the gospel. Oh my God. Dr. Short and Randy and I said Dr. Short and Randy. Dr. Short and Jaguar were talking a lot about what goes on inside the church. We spent part of the first, and if you want to go see the whole video, it's in the description. The link is in the description on the Jaguar Wright Effect Show. The link is in the description. But greetings from Uganda. Appreciate you for joining, brother. But you guys, like we were talking about, like all of the sexual abuse that goes on in the church with gospel music, you know, and all of the people that have gotten just run through. And now, and I'm sorry answering your questions. So if you guys got questions, hold on. I'm gonna ramble for like a few more minutes, then I'll start answering some of your questions. But the point I kept bringing up on her show was, you know, this is just a time, like at some point things always return back to the original archetype, you know? And you know, music has been so foul, so corrupted, so fucked up that you can't get any more. Once something becomes a toxic cesspool, it doesn't get. You can't get more. It's already unlivable. So we're living in a time to where that shit got to get cleaned up, and it's getting cleaned up. And room is being made for the people who are pure heart to return. Because music is pure, music is innocent. Music is a direct line to your subconscious. One song can do more than 10 years of therapy. The music is a direct path to your subconscious and your unconscious behaviors. And some very, very, very evil people have poisoned it. And now we're coming up on a time to where it's time for something different. And so I look at Jaguar as somebody who's the vanguard of that. She's taking a lot of bullets. But I notice a lot of people who are mad. I'm just paying attention to a lot of people who are mad at Jaguar. These are the people who, you know, like y'all nigga, when it's comes to music, either they don't know what goes on or they're okay with the bullshit. They're okay with it. Some people are okay with bullshit, you know? Some people are okay with abuse. Some people are like, you know, hey, that's just what it is. Because they know that if they were ever in that power, they would abuse it. And that's most people. But most people are very regular, very generic, and I don't speak to most people. I speak to exceptional people. I like talking to exceptional people. I don't give the excuse, oh, well, that's just how people are. No, yeah, you're right. That's how most people are. And DeJuan Brown don't fuck with most people. Because most people are just generic. And they'll sit there and be quiet and see some abuse and be like, well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's not me. I'm not okay with abuse. I'm not okay with misuse. And I love music, pure at heart. I got a pure love for music, you know? And I get tired of seeing people that are good people, creative people, good intentions, get used and abused. So again, salute to Jaguar Wright. You know, I have a exclusive and on my Patreon, I have a short 15 minute Q&A with Jaguar where and then that little Q&A I did with Jaguar, y'all better go look at that on my Patreon. She talks about who the third person in the car was with Teddy Pendergrass when he got, you know, paralyzed. She talks about the real reason, roots of neo soul. Jaguar gave me some information today on my Patreon. Um, she talked about the real roots of neo soul. You dig? Nah, Biz Martinez not a cab. It's kind of an open, known secret that there was a third person in the car with Teddy Pendergrass when that shit happened to him here in L.A. We know. I just never knew who the person's name was. But a lot of people in music know. And I've heard the story. I just never knew who the third person was until today. I just never knew who it was. Shit like that happens all the time. What's that show? It was a show that used to come on Showtime. I cannot think of the name of it. And these come on like right after Dexter. And the dude used to go around and so to say somebody, what's the name of that show that used to be on Showtime? Where like somebody would like accidentally murder somebody and then Ray Donovan. That show Ray Donovan's real. There are people out here like that are like literally a celebrity or somebody, a politician. They get up, caught up in a pickle. You know, they make some moves, call up the media, and write the story. That's some real shit. PJ Allen just said it. But you gotta go to the Patreon for her to tell the whole story. Uh-huh. See, I know what the only one. PJ Allen in the chat just said it. Yeah, Biz Marty, why you call it cap? Yeah. PJ Allen just said it. But Jaguar, I want y'all gotta go to the Patreon to find the story. Or wait, I'll put out clips probably sometime in the next couple weeks. If you don't gotta go to the Patreon shit. Yeah, she broke that whole thing down. Somebody said to us about good raps. I appreciate that. I appreciate you donating my raps. But I'm going to keep buying the same hemp wraps. But thank you for donating towards the next time I need to buy another box. Because I buy mine a box at a time. I got 2 boxes here right now. Just threw away a third. Man, Dexter Robinson. Yeah, PJ, that Teddy Pendergrass documentary does tell a lot, but don't tell that part. You right about that. Yeah, but Jaguar is somebody who, like I said, I have nothing but respect for her because the music industry is bad, man. The industry itself, the shit that goes on is bad. It's just bad. I couldn't do it. I just play the drums for people I know. That's how I've always been. I play the drums for people that I know personally. But being all the way in it, man, I got so much respect for cats that can stay all the way in it. Like I look at people like J Mo, how he could just play his music and win his Grammys and just stay a regular, just J Mo, Kenneth Crouch, and certain people who've done a whole lot in music, and they're not bitter and they're just Sometimes and I don't even know Jim, you probably don't even know this, but sometimes I listen to him talk. We don't talk much, but you know, for him to still have that mastery of musicianship and focus, it, and my man, I remember every time I talked to Kenneth Crouch, I'd be like, damn, you play for everybody, like everybody, and he's still like keeps a smile on his face, and be like, damn, you ain't bitter. I couldn't do it. Big K, you say we want to do the Black American 1 and 4 versus the 1 and 3? Or what do you mean two and the four? Yeah, I can do that. The backbeat. Yeah. The music the music and the movie industry are equally evil. Like like it's started by evil people, man. It's like it's the same evil people. It's evil. It's just evil. It's evil. It's evil. It's evil. Like anything else, you can carve your way in anything and not have to deal with the evil all the time. And there are musicians and singers and people in the industry who have found ways to get in it and not have to interact too much with the evil. And I salute those guys. I really do. I didn't want to get in deep enough to find out. But I'm glad I followed my path because I still have my pure point of view on music, and that's because I'm not jaded because I haven't had those experiences. I haven't been screwed over. No one's tried to put me on a couch or nothing like that. I just didn't. I never put myself in that position. But on the other side, a lot of my times, in my late teens and my 20s, I was working. I was in college and working a day job in my 30s, in my early. Most of my all my 20, most of my 20s and most of my 30s, I worked a day job. Had I gone straight through, I probably would have never had. I was, good enough drummer to not need a day job, but I'm glad I went the day job route, man. Just yeah. What up, George Richard? But yeah, man. Was that murder? Was that murder mid mail monster? Listen to some Roy Ayers. What y'all know about this? Searching, 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 searching. Man. What's up, Ebony Eyes? What's up, y'all? But yeah, so it was dope, man. It was a dope time talking to Jaguar and having Dr. Short. Dr. Short, he always gives his realness. Dr. Short is raw. So having him with Jaguar talk, that was just, I had a good time watching. I jumped in to say what I needed to say, but it was dope listening to those two talk and go back and forth. It was a dope listening to those two. But did y'all have any questions? Y'all see what's going on? You got Trump trying to sell $5 million citizenships. Much love, Warren G. What's up, DSM? Don't you know that? Roy Ayers' version of Yosemite is the best. I like Sam Cooke, but Roy Ayers' version, man, that shit blew it out the park. But you got Trump selling $5 million citizenships. Y'all see Cam? Cam is what? What's up with the rapper East Coast Cam? I call him East Coast Cam because I'm from the West Coast. The West Coast Cam shouldn't have had to rename himself West Coast. Y'all see Cam over here crashing out. 1 week you're fighting with Jim Jones. Now you're fighting with Chad Ochocinco. Brother, what's up? Hey, New York, man, what's on with y'all rappers, man? Y'all old ass rappers is crashing out. Like, Dexter said try to remain relevant. But did y'all see him crashing out over the Chad Ochocinco, over Chad Johnson? And let me tell y'all something. Let me give y'all a little bit of information, all right? East Coast Cam is sus. East Coast Cam was talking about money that he was throwing to Ochocinco and how black man, stop that. That's not your money, man. There are people that got money behind what you do. And they gave you a pass to offer it their money to other acts because they believe in some of you guys' talent, and I'm with it. But stop it. I was gonna pay you this and I was gonna pay you that. No. Let me tell y'all something real. Let me give y'all these podcasts from Club Shay Shay on. There are white men behind these podcasts, money wise. Like the Club Shay Shay. That's what's that white boy? That racist ass white boy on Colin Cowherd. His company. That's behind the Club Shay Shay. These niggas online got white boys behind them, y'all. This shit ain't pure. They got the big money behind. The big money it's been in the internet since about 2016, 2015. Like remember like when Gizmodo Media, when they bought VSB, Very Smart Brothers and all that back, I think 2015, 2016, and that it ran that beautiful ass with that. VSB was a dope website, Very Smart Brothers in 2011, 12. Great blog. But Gizmodo Media bought them out, and all through 2015, 2014, the major players have been buying out everything online. Let me see here. There we go. Yeah, Cam started it by himself. And it got money. It got a deal. And that's a beautiful thing. I'm not here to hate on it at all. I'm not here to hate on it at all. I'm saying that's a beautiful thing. But these guys get these. I don't like when black men get deals from white men and then turn around and be like, look what I'm doing. It'd be the same shit in music. Hey, that's better. I had a little fog on my shit. It'd be the same shit in music. You'll get a rapper that'll sign another rapper. Look what I. Most of the time, you should never sign with no fucking rapper to begin with if you're in music or another artist. They're just gonna take your best shit and sit on it. But that ain't they money they giving you. They've been given approval by white people behind them to give them money. And again, that's fine. I ain't tripping on none of that shit. But don't use it to slap another black man in the face and talk about what I was gonna do for you. Stop it. Gotta stop slapping other black men in the face with white people's money. And this isn't a jab at white people or what. This is a jab. This is just taking a step back and let's I'm just disenchanted. All these niggas is older than me. And I was in high school when Cam and all these niggas was popping. You know, and to see them going, I was in middle school. When you go online and you see these former gangsters and tough niggas from the 90s just yeah, Dexter, these big time podcasts are these are owned. That's why these cats don't sound like you got Cam going at LiAngelo Ball. Like the young man done resurrected what he got going and flipped his basketball career into music. Who else is Cam going at? He going at LiAngelo Ball. What, Omar Gooding? Omar Gooden? I might have to do a show tomorrow. What the fuck is wrong? What's going on with this dude? He going at Omar Gooding? God damn, how you going at Irvin from Hang with Mr. Cooper? Nigga going at the dude from Wild and Crazy Kids. Y'all remember Wild and Crazy Kids? Man, I wanted to be on that show when I was a kid. I sent in a little letter and everything. I want to be on Wild and Crazy Kids. And no motherfuckers never called me. That was my shit on Nickelodeon back in the day. But think about it. Cam going back and forth with Dame Dash, now Chad Ochocinco, Jim Jones, Omar Gooding, and I'm missing somebody else. I just said the other person. That's because they were a bozo show. Yeah, Lamar Wild Crazy Kids was the shit. Cam going at like 5 niggas right now. And he almost 50. But I told you guys a long time ago, what did I tell y'all this time last year when that whole Kendrick and Drake beef started? Pay attention to the kind of niggas that's going all out for Drake. I told y'all that a year ago. I told y'all that before it got to Drake filing lawsuits. What did I say? Chat room, let me know. Press number 1 if you remember me saying that. I said, I'm not tripping on people. If you like Drake and listen to Drake, I ain't talking about you. I said, pay close attention for the people going hard for Drake. Learn a lot about a person by what they fight for. You can tell a lot about a person by what they fight for, not what they like. Because we like a lot of things, but it's a lot of things we like that we're not necessarily willing to fight for. Nigga, I like a Big Mac every now and again, but I'm not gonna fight to have the right to eat one. Hell, it's been a couple years since I had one. Don't mean I still don't like the motherfuckers. You did? But I'm not gonna fight for it. I'll beat your ass over Earth and Fire though. No, I'm just playing. You know, I like a lot of things. You know, I'll fight for my family. I'll fight for people that my friends and people I'm down with. So I don't judge people of what they like, but I do take very close at what you fight over, what you fight for. And when I saw people fighting for Drake early on, even before Not Like Us. I mean, back when when Euphoria dropped. Nigga, I'm talking about back then. Like the way Cameron was talking about Kendrick. Man, I don't like, man. It took 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks for you to come out. I was like, you niggas is creating criteria. Y'all. Then when y'all had criticism when Drake said you rapping like you trying to free the slaves, and y'all was cool with that. What's up, Ebony? What's up, G Mars? But dude is like really crashing out, and I gotta ask, he really tried to stun on Ocho. I'm bringing this up because these are the people I just feel vindicated. Like, y'all didn't know me in 1998, but people who knew me back then, I was in 97, 98. Like, what the fuck? When Bad Boy dropped, I was like, what is this? I hated Bad Boy from day one. And anything Bad Boy like. All of that flash fuckboy music, I was just like, this ain't it. This ain't it. I was like, these guys, they're not as the late 90s. I remember when I was 16, 17, thinking, okay, these new guys, they're not the guys who, when I was 10 or 11, back in 91, 92, the rappers and the singers and the artists from 89, 90, 91, 92 were, I recognized in high school, they were a cut above the rappers that got introduced to us after 96. The Bad Boy sound, the May sound, like just the quality and the content of the lyrics. And I'm a drummer. I pay attention to rhythms and beats. But the lyrics are so atrociously bad. I understood none of these niggas. It was just, they used to call me old man at Westchester High. And shouts out to Odell, Jaguar's fiance. I didn't even know. We went to the same middle school and high school, but he was just a couple years ahead of me. Shouts out to Odell. But we was talking about Westchester High today. Like, I wasn't the popular kid in high school, but I was cool. Everybody knew me. I didn't want to be the most popular. I wasn't that guy. But I was a guy that was cool with everybody, from the athletes there. I was cool with everybody. And everybody used to clown the fuck out of me on that part when it came down to the music. They'd be like, Dewan, if we be in class, like, hey, I know Dewan, I know you don't like that New Money Ain't a Thing. I was like, nope, that's Steve Arrington. We get the knees. That was me. I was saying that when Money Ain't a Thing dropped in high school. I was telling before you can go to the internet and Shazam a song, nigga. I was the Shazam nigga in high school. Like, nah, that's Steve Arrington. And nigga, that was like a running joke in high school on me. I was like the old nigga. But you know, but now that we're 25 years removed from that era, 20 years removed from it, and we're seeing how these guys are acting, it's like I had a criticism for a reason. Like, man, maybe I wasn't crazy. As crazy as I was called by my peers at that time, I'm now saying, no, I wasn't crazy. These niggas really is weird. 50 Cent, when he dropped, didn't like him. In the club was a banger. You know, I could bow my head in the club and still be like, this nigga weird though. Look at what he doing. These old niggas is crashing the fuck out. And people have the nerve. Yeah, I went to 74th Street Elementary. I went there from kindergarten through second grade. I remember the name is the Hat Maker. I never had him though. I remember that name. Never had him though. But I do remember a teacher that name. But now that we're on the other end of it, I'm like, what's up, Jay? Appreciate that. But we seeing the way these dudes are right now, where these grown ass men are crashing out. It's bad. Like, but people had a nerve to talk about Jaguar. Yeah, Big Hank, West Coast legends passed the torch. Snoop passed the torch to Kendrick and got out the way. You know? Ice-T vouched and validated Ice Cube. Ice-T was never hated on Ice Cube in public. In the West Coast, when we had battles, there was an outright battle. You know, it wasn't niggas didn't do no pub now. Niggas do all kind of slimy, grimy shit behind the scenes. I ain't calling these West Coast niggas innocent. I personally know of a few stories that I'm not at liberty to tell that some of your absolute legends did grimy behind the scenes with some of these young niggas. But that's just the music industry, you know, and that's something like people like Jaguar is fighting against. But somebody said I can't look past Jaguar's nutty acting. Yes, I can. Why can't I? If she acts, when you've been in a fucking nut house, some people are going to react nutty in return. You don't understand how much of a nut house the music is, the music industry is, and it fucks people up. And it changes the way they behave. I pay attention to the content of what's being said. I'm not about to sit here and look at most of the people that y'all look up to are perfect on the shell. They wear a three-piece suit. They talk right. They talk proper. They do everything right. But those be the most fucked up people you'd ever want to meet. The people who stand up right, wear a suit, say everything right, and that's probably the most fucked up person in the room. Shit, you learn something. If you think somebody's crazy, you probably need to listen twice. Because crazy people be dropping gems if you think they're crazy. Do Jaguar Wright do things that I wouldn't do it that way? Of course. But she's Jaguar Wright. I'm DeJuan Brown. It's not my ego is in check enough to know that everybody ain't gonna do it the way I do it. The truth, somebody said the truth could already be taken with a grain of salt. You should only take what anybody says with a grain of salt. If you over here gonna listen to somebody twice because they wearing a three-piece suit, you about to get fucked. Think about it. Anytime anytime anyone's been screwed over on a major level, it's been by somebody in a three-piece suit, whether it be the preacher, the politician, or the pimp. Preachers and politicians wear three-piece suits. That mortgage broker that charged you an extra 1.5 on your rate, raising your mortgage by $400 a month when you could have been paying $2,000 on your mortgage, but you paying $2,500 because that person in a three-piece suit that was smiling and hugged your baby and kissed your baby, they put a 1.5 on your rate on the back end. I used to do loans. I know all the time. I know how this shit work. It's a three-piece suit nigga that put an extra 1.5 on your stuff and charge you 5 points on your loan on your cell instead of 2.5 in a three-piece suit. My name is Beth. Yeah. Oh, is that your little son? Oh, he's getting bigger. Oh yeah. Hey, Tiger. Hey, I have a basketball. Do you want it? I'll give your son. I just got this new basketball in my trunk. Here, you want to head and take it to him. Yeah, then you just put a 1.5 on the back end of your interest rate, nigga. So you better watch out. Pay attention. I make sure to smoke weed on camera and drink liquor and talk all kind of shit. Because that's the last thing I want is for somebody looking for perfection from me. Hell no. I can and will fuck up. Don't mean the messages I get aren't from a real place. But I'm glad you brought that up, Terrell Moses, because I don't know if you were here earlier. Because I said the reason why I got attracted to what Jaguar was saying in the first place. You're right, Big Hank. Another joke. These niggas is not funny. But going back to what I said before, what attracted me to Jaguar was being someone who chose not to go full-time into music because I saw how much bullshit, and I've heard too many stories. I've had too many friends that were affected, and people I know, people I respect, people I love. When I heard Jaguar first start talking about music a few years ago and what's going on, did I know any of those stories to be true? No. I don't know if anything she says is true. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can only vouch for something I was there. But I'll tell you this. The things that she said made sense because I heard similar stories from similar people, about similar people. I know that when you have anything controlled by people like Clive Davis and Dick Asher and all of the Leo Cohen and Hart and Lucian Grange, and you got to realize the music industry is poison. I'm trying to account. Let me see. Let me look at my computer. I know who I want to talk about, but I want to give you guys a name. I'm just dyslexic right now. I want to make sure I give you guys the right name. Here we go. There we go. Neil Bogart. Neil Bogart, that was his name. He was CEO of, here we go, Neil Bogart. He died of cancer. But Neil Bogart went through a whole lot of shit from Clive, from all them other assholes in the music industry. Neil Bogart, they were really trying to kill music in the late 70s. But Neil is somebody that really pushed disco. He signed Donna Summer on the disco end and the Village People. He did Kiss and he also Parliament Funkadelic. When the people who were like really, 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 really on top of the music industry were trying to really choke music, because lots of that happened in the 80s, they tried to do in the 70s. But Casablanca pushed against that because they were signing these real talented acts. And the shit that he went through, a lot of white people died for good music. A lot of white people died. By the time you get to the Puffies and the Jay-Z's, you're now dealing with just the newest version of some old shit. A lot, that industry, they kill each other. So when black people go into an environment to where this is already happening with the white guys, you gotta realize the music industry is those gangsters, the mob, is thugs all around. You're not gonna come in all pure and innocent in the toxic environment. So when you get these white boys that handpick a Negro, this goes back to, and I said the same when I was talking to Jaguar. If you go back to if you're on Patreon, you have my 2 interviews with Mr. Bobby Rush, and Bobby Rush, blues legend, talks about it. How the guys at Chess Records would steal from the artists, but they would let Willie Dixon do it. They would have Willie Dixon was a bass player, but he's also over stuff, and they would credit Willie Dixon as a writer on songs for Muddy Waters, but Muddy Waters couldn't read. So how the fuck can you write for Muddy Waters and Muddy Waters couldn't read? You're not gonna write a song for somebody who couldn't fucking read. But they would use Willie Dixon to steal from Muddy Waters. And this is in the 50s. And somebody said, I'm a liar. Well, first off, tell your mama that the next time she suck my dick, don't use her teeth. Second, go listen to Bobby Rush say it himself. He's a fucking blues legend. He's 91 years old. Was with Chess Record in the 50s. This is his story. I learned from him. Live on air, bitch. Now, back to what we're talking about. So, this is what we've been going through, and this is what people in music, Jackie Wilson and what he went through, they really fucked Jackie Wilson up. Jackie Wilson got fucked. Jackie Wilson, when he tried that story on the 5 Heartbeats, where they say, remember when they were hanging old boy over the 5 Heartbeats manager out over the balcony? That really happened to Jackie Wilson when he was renegotiating his contract. Like the 5 Heartbeats took a lot of real stories and just kind of threw them into that movie. But most of that, watch the 5 Heartbeats. Watch the 5 Heartbeats. That shit really happened. And how that movie, the 5 Heartbeats, worked, the way you saw it, that is what happened. Like, Courtney Love said on the Howard Stern show that she was dropped off by her parents on Ted Nugent's basically doorstep, and she started fucking Ted Nugent when she was 12. Go and look up that episode of the Howard Stern show where Courtney Love says it herself. She was 12 fucking Ted Nugent. My father-in-law has told me stories about how back in the 70s, there would be parties, and he one thing about him, he never says names, and I never ask. He don't say names, I don't ask. But it was like, it was common for, like, they'd be at these parties, and it would be high school age girls in high school just lined up And you name the artists, you probably like them. They had high school and early in high school age girls at all these parties. We talking about the 60s and the 70s. Phil Spector, the shit he used to do. I heard my father-in-law told me a story about Phil Spector one day, like this is like 1968. He got mad at one of the background singers, and Phil Spector just pulled out a gun and just shot up the studio. Same thing. Remember Suge Knight went to prison for shooting up a music studio. Remember Suge Knight, that when he had that violation, when he had that probation violation, when Tupac died, when he kicked that dude, that was a probation violation that sent him to prison. But the reason why he was on probation was because he shot up a music studio. Well, Phil Spector was known for shooting up music studios. Barry White used to pull a gun on people who didn't get the fucking note right. Barry White was known for pulling out that thing on people if it wasn't getting done his way. Like the music industry's Frank Sinatra? You want to talk about a gangster? Frank Sinatra? It's all kinds of suspected stories about bodies. A lot of people dropped around Frank Sinatra. That was a gangster. The music industry's foul. So me personally, whoever is directly under Clive Davis, the way Puffy was directly under Clive Davis, I'm gonna look at funny style. Clive Davis ain't gonna have nobody that's not into what he's into, that close to him. In Clive Davis's book, he said Puffy was one of his boyfriends. So I don't know anything. I can't verify anything that Jaguar Wright says. And I'm not going to try to. That woman's word stands on its own. You take it or leave it. You believe it or not. I don't give a fuck what you believe. But I tell you this, the shit that she talks about is a problem. She is an insider talking about a problem. So I give it to her. We talked on go watch that live. I'm gonna put some of it above on this channel. We talked about Sammy Davis Jr. We talked about the sellout. Once another thing, me, Dr. Short, and Jaguar talked about the Negro sellouts. How Sammy Davis Jr. allegedly, we heard, was one of the ones that was behind sabotaging. What's his name? Sam Cooke. There's stories about Sammy Davis being out there, being one of the ones that was behind them taking down Sam Cooke. This is an old story. Harry Belafonte was behind a lot of bullshit. These are old stories. The same way Puffy sold out. Because I'll go back and watch. Just the other day, Art of Dialogue had Suge Knight on. And Suge Knight talked about Puffy being the one that called them folks when him and Irv Gotti and them got together to start the distribution label. Suge just talked about it like last week on Art of Dialogue. Yeah, Sammy was a small hat. Yeah, that's what he proclaimed. So again, when I hear Jaguar Wright talking, I'm just thinking like, man, I don't know. I can't verify if that story is right or not, but shit, shit sounds very fucking familiar. And you said Big Hank say he passes too. That yeah, dude. Oh yeah, Big Hank is noticing the joke limit had us. The internet. It's a Biz Martinez at 5 foot tall. But yeah, so like, you know, nothing that Jaguar ever said was doesn't what she says doesn't nothing sounds even remotely crazy to me. Now I can understand how it can sound crazy to people. I'm talking about the content of what she's saying about the people in music. How she acts, you determine that shit. But the thing that she's some of the things, stories that she's told, I've heard people tell me their own experiences that have been far worse than some of the stories that she's told on out there. That's right, Noah. You heard that in the background. I love that song, especially that vamp. Yeah, man. For sure, Big Hank. Hey, on the Patreon, definitely. Anybody else on Patreon, I got you. Okay, now y'all got them. All three y'all got them. Unique Organic got them for, and Chewy got them for 86K. Yeah, yeah. Y'all got them up out of here. But Jay-Z and Pharrell got a song that I actually like. I like the second part of it. It's a two-part song. They got a song together called Young Girl. But Don Blackman, one of my favorite musicians, got an album, got a song that's called Holding You. And that song, he's talking about a 17-year-old. You know, one of the most popular B.B. King songs of all time is a song called Sweet 16. Musician, Steely Dan got a song on their Two Against Nature album. How About a Kiss from Your Cousin Loren? Hey 19. It's music and underage BBD, backstage, underage, adolescent. I mean, yeah, Rick James got a song called 17. You go down the list, it's a lot of music from country to hip hop about young girls. I'm telling you right now, a major reason why a lot of these artists are fucking drug addicts because they done things and said things that they can't unsee. And drugs is the only way they can cope. Y'all ever thought about that? A lot of these cats got stories, man. And I got compassion for them. I'm not here to judge them. Well, I am here to judge the ones that go around. You fuck around with a 14-year-old. I'm judging you, hoe ass nigga. I don't give a fuck what you went through. But I'm just talking about over. It's a lot of people who didn't do that, but they saw it. They were around it, and they conscious can't let go. Their conscious cannot let go, and they go and then you got some people who did it because they just wanted to be down. And they did do it, but at the time they did it, they wanted the money, they wanted the fame, they wanted that more than they cared about any level of morality. But here's the thing, that decision to do that illicit, sick act for an opportunity, just say you get the opportunity and the opportunity takes you all the way to the top. You don't unforget what you did to get there. So a lot of these dudes are really on drugs. They really fucked up, y'all. Yeah, DMS, City Dan, yeah. You right, let's go to the movies. Yeah, see, I love City Dan, but certain songs, it'd be like, Love Strain. All night, ain't sleep, too hot, too weak, gotta call her up. If by chance, this song right here. I love this song right here, but nigga, listen to this shit. This is a musician song right here. This is like a musician song right here. Listen, Don Blackman. It starts off melodic, but listen when the music comes in. Like, this one of them songs as a musician. Listen to when it comes in, and then watch the lyrics. Closeness fear. Seven. Saying her life has just begun. Her mind. Look at this shit. Look at these lyrics. But when you listen to Dennis Chambers on drums, like as a drummer right here, you just can't let that groove go. All that space the song got, if you're a bass player or a drummer, you hear all that space? It's just like, as a musician, this song is addicting. But then you listen to the lyrics and be like, embrace until our hearts meet as one. Nigga, she's 17 though. But as a musician, I'm never gonna go not listen to that song. Don Blackman is one of the greatest musicians you guys have rarely heard of. He played with Parliament. He was a studio musician. A lot of your funk, Don Blackman was behind a lot of your studio music. But that song is so fucking in the pocket, yo. Noah said, where's the instrumental? I like, look at this song right here. A lot of people, this isn't even a BB King. Like this song right here. This is a cross genres. This, you know, Waylon Jennings got songs about being with teenagers, and I mean, every genre talks about that, man. The music is a lot of shit that goes on that people just really don't understand. No, I haven't, Dexter. Mm. So we also got to know that we're in a different time now, and music has to be cleaned up. Everything has to be cleaned up, man. And I think Kendrick doing what he did is going a long way and helping in that direction. With the song of 2024 being a song about pedophilia, think about that. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile was the line of 2014. No, 2024. That was the line of 2024. That tells me that the music industry, there's a change that's happening. And there go another one. Big Hank. There go another one. Somebody else just said it. Who's this guy? Michael K. These motherfuckers are not original. I think I need to roll another blunt. But y'all see it. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Music industry fucked up, y'all. Hell no, I ain't blazing in no goddamn Colorado this late. It's gonna be 85. It was warm. It was warm in Cali all day today and yesterday. Rocky with this warm weather, Rocky was chilling too. Rocky been out in this warm weather. This little light skinned nigga sunbathing. That nigga in the house right now knocked the fuck out sleep because he been in that sun all day. I was gonna have Rocky down here with me, but that nigga upstairs knocked the fuck out. Yeah. But back to what I was saying, like earlier. What do y'all think about? What do y'all think about what's going on? What do y'all think about what's going on? I was to the point I was making earlier about music is corrupt, always been corrupt, but one thing we haven't seen before is, and maybe it's just because the internet is more popular than it ever has been, but them artists from the 90s, them niggas is crashing the fuck out now on the internet. I don't know. Maybe the same shit would have happened in the 60s if the internet was around in the 80s. I don't know. But this nigga Cam is crashing on everybody. 50 Cent is more of a troll than a 16-year-old I can't use that word. Yeah. I'm getting canceled. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Yeah, prophecy being fulfilled. I'll take that. Yeah, that's a good girl speak. 90s artists being held to account. They were. 90s really, the music, the quality of music really got trashed in the 90s. The 90s is when the quality of music just got trash, 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 trash. And if you go to my Patreon and listen to my Q&A with Jaguar Wright, she talks about Angie Stone's role in really crafting the what we call the neo soul sound. And really, I never saw. I've always loved and appreciated Angie Stone, but what what Jaguar said about her today on my interview with her, and it's a short one. The full interview is up on her page. I'm gonna put it here on my page probably tomorrow, but I want y'all to go to her page first. Jaguar Wright. It's in the description. I can't think of the name of, but it's in the description. The full interview with Jaguar Wright, Dr. Betty Short, and me, and Odell. But that's that's in there right now. But when we had our own, that's the quick 15-minute Patreon Q&A, she talked about the genesis of the neo soul sound. She really broke it down like a scientist. Like that's one other thing I appreciate about Jaguar. Like, y'all into like you can be into whatever you want to be into. I'm not gonna judge whatever you into, but when that woman talk about music, man, she's a music scientist. When Jaguar Wright gets in her bag talking about the science behind music and what music does in the industry itself, y'all listening to a motherfucking professor. Because she gives it all to you. Now, this is where people have to admit their biases. People are attracted to the drama that Jaguar brings. They're attracted to the salacious stories. Except for when she says those stories about the white men who run the black men. Niggas seem to not know who the fuck Lucien Grange is, but they'll get mad at her for talking about Puffy. But it's like, she's talking about the people at the top too. Listen. But on top of that, she talks about real music too. And when she gets in there talking about music, and when she gets in her music bag, I'm a student, man, I tell y'all. When she gets to talking about the effect of background singers and harmonies, I love when Jaguar Wright talks about music on that level. Because she's a motherfucking master. Girls speak, hell no, you can't get a good duet no more. But that's the music industry's fault. The music industry killed that stuff on purpose because we need it. Think about it. Go back to the golden age of hip hop between 87 and 94, 95. Or you can take 96 if you want to. If you want to say 86 and 96, I'll go there with you. That golden age of hip hop, 86 and 96. Not at one point during that stretch was it ever as big as rhythm and blues at the time, including Biggie and Tupac and Snoop and Dre and Nas and Outkast. You name the rap act, none of them were as big as TLC. None of them were as big as Boyz II Men. None of them were as big as Jodeci. We're not even going to get into Michael Jackson and Prince. That's obvious. That's obvious. We're not even going to go Michael Jackson and Prince. Tupac wishes he had Jodeci's notoriety in 94. Let's remember this is 30 years ago. We can forget because the story of hip hop is real loud, but we forget that in the 80s and the 90s, hip hop and rhythm and blues had a brother and sister relationship. Not now, but 80s and 90s is a brother-sister relationship. Do you remember that era? And I think I'm gonna do a Patreon on this. Do you remember like in the remember go back to the late 80s into the 90s? Do you remember like every fucking song had like a rap breakdown? Remember that? Niggas who couldn't even rap, they had Shanice rapping. I like your smile, do 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 do. Then she started rapping. And you be like, oh. Remember in the 80s, you had, I love this song right here. The Movement, Where There Is Love by Patrice Rushen. I love the movement of the song. But remember in the 80s, you had the saxophone solo. Every song in the 80s had a saxophone solo. No matter what the song was talking about, 80s, it was gonna be some shag mullet wearing motherfucking saxophonist. And you'd be like, fuck, every fucking song had a key change and a saxophone solo. But in rhythm and blues, when you get to the late 80s to the younger acts coming up, the saxophone solo got replaced with a rap breakdown. Y'all remember the rap breakdown. There was always a rap breakdown. And it wasn't always done by a rapper. They would have the artist, like, they'd be like, and you knew it was probably some white corporate executive. Yeah, Bobby Brown, you're a black guy. Go ahead and rap that part. Biz Martie, you right there with me. Bobby Brown, yeah. There was a rap breakdown. There was a brother-sister relationship. Rhythm and blues really put rap on. Rap didn't put itself on. Yeah, Ralph Tresvant. You need a man with sensitivity. Then the nigga start rapping. Come on, y'all. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me pull this up. Remember this shit? Here we go. I remember this shit. This nigga comes in. I remember this? This nigga starts out singing and crooning and shit. Here it is right here. You need a man with sensitivity. Nigga in a suit and everything. Then here come. Here gonna break down. Here come. Y'all remember this shit? They always had that. Nigga. If you hear anybody else on the internet bringing that up, put in that motherfucking chat room, you got that shit from DeJuan. Ain't nobody else talking like this when it comes to music. But at the end of the day, all it takes is time to listen. If you notice, the conversation is always hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Sucked on R&B's titty for like 25 years. It took hip hop a long time. Hip hop and disco came out the same year. 73 disco, 73 rap, hip hop. Or if you want to go with their time, rap been around. But if you want to go with the official Africa Bambaataa timeline, if you go with the Bambaataa timeline, the KRS-One timeline, rap and disco came out the same year. Disco took the fuck off and was America's biggest music within 3 years. By 76, disco's America's #1 sound within 3 years. Hip hop becomes Black America's #1 sound in 2000 what? 2? How that happened? Disco was #1 in 3 years. It took hip hop 30 years to get to #1? What kind of autistic shit is this? And disco still lives through house music and through EDM. So R&B floated hip hop through the 80s and 90s. If R&B got our minds conditioned to rap, because if you did not listen to rap music, if you only listen to Ralph Tresvant, if you only listen to rhythm and blues, you got conditioned to rap. It was like you were going to get rap whether you wanted it or not. Another example. I don't know if you guys are from LA. I don't know if your city may have done the same thing. I cannot speak for your city. So like I try to draw a line where I'm the expert. I'm the expert on LA. I'm not an expert worldwide on radio. But on KJLH, do y'all remember that song by Montel Jordan, Get It On Tonight? Y'all remember that song? Dun-dun-dun-dun, when they had that Beverly Hills Cop? Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Y'all didn't even know that was Beverly Hills Cop. But dun-dun-dun-dun. They took that Beverly Hills Cop sample. I love that song by Montel. Do y'all remember the LL Cool J breakdown? Well, KJLH here in LA, they didn't play it, the LL Cool J part. Because KJLH, up until about 2004, was completely against rap. They would let the rap part play if the artist did it, but if a rapper came on to do the rap breakdown, KJLH wouldn't play the rap part. Biz Martie, you know. It'd be like, it'd just go to a musical. Dun-dun-dun-dun. And you just hear the inflections. But the LL Cool J part, KJLH did not play it. We're talking 2003, 4, 2. But rap music, rhythm and blues in the 80s, the rap breakdown replaced the saxophone breakdown. Music had gotten real in the 80s. It got real formulaic in the 80s. Music had gotten very formulaic in the 80s. So you had the mandatory saxophone breakdown if it was a Smokey Robinson or a Howard Hewitt song. But when the younger generation came up, you had the mandatory rap breakdown. What's up, Set in the West? Hey, there go there. Hey, y'all follow Set in the West. You see about sitting right now via Google Drive. I appreciate that. Y'all see Set in the West? I can't highlight on my phone. We had a dope interview. Jaguar and Dr. Short. Follow his channel and I have the link in the description for the interview that we had earlier. I'm gonna put it up on my channel, but I want y'all to go to their channel first. Because I love what Jaguar Wright's doing, and she's shadow banned. And I love what Odell's doing with her, and they're shadow banned. So I would much appreciate it if y'all go watch it on their channel first. I'll upload it here. But I just love what she's doing, so. Yeah, we definitely got to do some more of it. Yeah, so we got to realize, rap, hip-hop, and I don't want to offend you hip hoppers out there, because if you're under 25, you don't know. If you're under 30, you don't know because you weren't around. So if you're 30 and under, this is game for you. 35, because if you're 35, you weren't really paying attention like that. So if you're 35 and under, this is game for you, okay? I'm not saying this to shit on you or to make y'all just a shit on hip hop. But hip hop lived off the titty of R&B for 30 years. And it's still to this day, well, I take it back. I said that wrong. Hip hop lived off the umbilical cord of rhythm and blues for 30 years. And it's still living off the titty today. And that's why you got so many. Look at the 90s hip hop guys. That probably dovetails into what else we talking about. These hip hop niggas is grown ass baby boys. You got, and I love him, but you got Suge Knight gossiping from prison. This nigga in jail talking about, so yeah. Now he say some real shit, but yeah, and Dre, you can tell he still got a vendetta with Dre and Snoop in prison just gossiping. You got Cameron beefing with Ocho Cinco. How the fuck is Cameron beefing with Omar Gooding, the nigga from Wild and Crazy Kids, nigga? 50 Cent, the internet's biggest troll. Puffy in jail because he didn't know how to fucking control his shit. Allegedly puckering little boy assholes and shit. You got, I mean, it's just bad. You got Dame Dash going at it with Cameron. You got Jim Jones going at it with Cameron. You got Drake suing for losing a rap beef. You got grown-ass men on the internet defending it. Hip-hop is how you get in academics. Hip-hop has gotten the ball and fumbled that motherfucker. And they staying silent as people are saying, well, hip-hop is everybody's culture. But we gotta, like, well, that's why I look at like Melly Mel and all of these hip hop dudes sticking their chest out. Even the blogs and some of these channels I won't mention because I got love and respect for the channel. So out of respect for these channels, I won't mention the names because I don't want to make them sound bad because I respect their channels. And otherwise, I just disagree with certain things. And so I don't want to call these channels out. But I see some of these channels, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. I look at these niggas like, do you understand? You hip hop heads y'all look like the emperor with no clothes. Do y'all remember the story in elementary school, the emperor with no clothes? That parable that was taught to us in elementary school? I don't know if it was in your school or not. But the dude that thought he was an emperor, he walked around naked all day thinking he had a emperor's gown on, but really he had no clothes, he was just naked. That's hip-hop. Today, the people speaking. And not all of hip-hop, Dr. Dre pays respect, Snoop pays respect, Rakim pays respect. You listen to Rakim talk, man, Rakim don't talk enough, man. I met Rakim out loud one time, man. We had a great conversation. Me and Rakim talked for almost an hour one day. One day we were at the Robert Glasper's music festival that he had in Napa last year, a couple years ago. And me and it was all kind of shit. People, we was in VIP around everybody. Me and Rakim talked until security was like, hey. We were all like, shit, we gotta go. But me and Rakim, I call Rakim the Dizzy Gillespie. The Miles Davis. He's really what Dizzy Gillespie is to the trumpet. He changed the phrasing. Like with bebop, Jay-Z, Rakim is to hip hop, but Dizzy Gillespie is to jazz. And if you don't know Dizzy Gillespie, find out. And his profound impact, worldwide impact. That's who Rakim is. Yeah, when he performed, that nigga still. So I'm not talking about all of hip hop. Lord Jamar, that's a guy right there. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about all of hip hop. I'm talking about a lot of people who's talking the most. It's like the emperor with no clothes. Hip hop was on the umbilical cord of rhythm and blues for 30 years. Disconnected itself from the from the umbilical cord. Um, I'll say a little over 20 after when DMX came, after Tupac and Biggie died, and DMX came, and but it's been sucking on the titty. It's still sucking on the titty. You can't drop it, and it don't move you like this, man. Listen to Philly singing. Philip singing. What y'all know about this? Baby. Man, I love that shit right there, man. I love that shit right there. That's God's music right there. But I don't care if fuck what nobody say, and this is where I respectfully disagree with Kendrick. When Kendrick said hip hop is the most powerful music in the world, it's the most powerful of what we have on a mass level, because hip hop is the only venue that America allows black artistry to express itself on its highest level. The best of rhythm and blues hasn't been able to express itself in over 30 years, you know? Really 40. You know, but when rhythm and blues expresses itself on its highest level, R&B is the most. It's still R&B. Still R&B. When you get somebody who can really sing, singing is going to outdo rapping every time. It's the reason why K-pop is at the top of the heap. Because K-pop is the only place people can get their rhythm and blues. Some of my nieces love K-pop. But one of my nieces who love K-pop, you know who her favorite group is now? The Silvers. She went on Spotify and found the Silvers, and she loves the Silvers. My little niece Layla. Rhythm and blues is king. Yep, don't ask my neighbors. I mean, this is written by Skip Scarborough. His son, Mark Scarborough, mentored me in music. He was my church music director when I was a teenager. And I got the story on how this song was written and what behind it in my documentary on gospel music that's coming out pretty soon. But rhythm and blues is king. That's a good one, Big Hank. Yeah, me. Like when it comes to it, if you get somebody, and I'm talking about one person. Let's ask a question. You get a rapper to freestyle a cappella on stage and a singer to sing a cappella on stage. Which one is going to grab the audience emotionally? Press number one if it's the R&B singer. If it's the singer, I won't say R&B. Press number two if it's the rapper. You get somebody to rap a cappella on stage, you get someone to sing a cappella. And both are at the highest level. One the singer, two the rapper. We have one person that said two. It's always going to be the singer. I've been to the Hollywood Bowl. I go to the Hollywood Bowl Me and my wife been going since 2004, about anywhere from on a low end 8 times, on the high end 20. So let's say average out. Me and my wife go to the Hollywood Bowl 12 times a summer on average. I would say 15 times a summer. Me and my wife are at the Hollywood Bowl 15 times a summer. Out of all, and this is now for about 20 years, there was only one time I saw somebody get 3 standing ovations. One time. And I saw everybody there, from Earth and the Fire to B.B. King. I saw everybody there. Let's expand it past the Hollywood Bowl. I've seen Prince 10 times. I've seen Janet Jackson down in New Orleans for Essence Fest, seen Frankie Beverly. I've seen everybody. I've only seen 3 applause breaks. And it was at the Hollywood Bowl at the last black movie night when Jennifer Holliday sang, and I am telling you. Jennifer Holliday came out at her current age, just like 2021. Jennifer Holliday. She sang, and I am telling you. And mind you, on this night, this is a star-studded night. Babyface had just performed. It's some really big names that performed at Black Movie Night. But they had Jennifer Holliday sing her version of And I Am Telling You. 3 applause breaks in the middle of the show. See, the Hollywood Bowl be having a bunch of white people. And niggas knew, them white folks didn't know what was about to happen. The reason for segregation is to keep our stuff from white people. Because the powers that be know that the rank and file average white person, no matter how much they socially engineer that white person into being racist, if you give them a chance to really listen to black greatness, they're not going to listen to you. That's why segregation exists. It's to keep them away from us, our true greatness. So certain levels of blackness they're just not privy to. And Jennifer Holliday, her version, I'll never forget looking around the Hollywood Bowl. And the Hollywood Bowl is 18,000 people. And this show was sold out too. 3 applause breaks. Because on that song, when she gets to preaching, jump on the music, dance with the sound, you can say what you want. When she gets into that, I ain't never seen a rapper done like that. And compared to everybody else that was on the show, Jennifer Holliday was probably the least known person on that show. Because Black Movie Night at the Hollywood Bowl, and they're having another one this coming September. I talked to Craig Robinson about a month ago, and he told me, rap can't do that. Yeah, like, if Stephanie Mills sings Home, there's nothing a rapper can do to follow Stephanie Mills singing Home. Nothing a rapper can do to that. Nothing. There's nothing a rap group can do to a choir. It gets even more profound when we get into our choirs. You could have never heard a song before, but if a black choir, 30 voices get together singing unison and harmony, I listen to the Brooklyn Mass Choir, Mississippi Mass Choir. I try to get at least once a month. I'm not a big fan of. I'm getting a chill thinking about it. what a choir does to you, spirit to your spirit. Like, there's nothing rap can do to touch that. Rap and rap, that's why rap music has always been around. Louis Armstrong rapped, Louis Jordan rapped, Cab Calloway rapped. Every rap been around just as long as singing. Rap music did not get to #1 until they killed rhythm and blues. Rap music cannot exist on a high level. It'll still be there. Rap and hip hop will always be there, but it cannot be #1 next to rhythm and blues. It can't. And that's another thing me and Jaguar talked about today, how they had to literally kill rhythm and blues for rap to get to where it got. By the time you get to Usher and that song, Yeah, when you put that Lil Jon trap beat to a rhythm and blues song, it was over for R&B. Rap took over after that because all the rhythm and blues that was put out was trying to sound like rap. And singing doesn't work good with a repetitive rap. When you go singing, you need the background singers. Like, let me give you an example. The song that's playing right now. This is real rhythm and blues. Listen to those strings. When you hear them strings come in, when you have all them harmonies coming together, you're not gonna outdo that. Let me give you another one. Oh, this is a good one. You cannot outdo this. Like, listen to this. Just, that's before the song even starts. What y'all know about this? What's up, Lori Brown? You get them 5 voices of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes coming together. Lost me. And then Sharon Page. Are you just where to kiss me? Come on now. You know how to make me feel. That's why, if you notice, even with the greatest rapper alive, Kendrick Lamar, he got that rhythm and blues in the background. He's still rapping over that rhythm and blues, baby. You need those. You need that. Your spirit needs it. Your spirit need that, baby. You hip hop bloggers, y'all. Here's my recommendation and my advice to all the hip hop bloggers and all the hip hop people who talk all this hip hop this and hip hop that. Study the music that hip hop samples. There's a reason why hip hop samples rhythm and blues and not the other way around. Rap hip hop has been on the radio since The Message. The Message dropped in, 82? Rap hip hop has been on the radio since 82. Rap hip hop has been on the radio for 40 years. There's a reason why rhythm and blues don't sample rap hip hop. But rap hip hop still samples rhythm and blues. That is your indication as to what's the more powerful sound. You're not gonna understand the music without understanding what hip hop samples, because it's not that rhythm and blues don't sample. One of the big payback was sampled by Total, by In Vogue. Rhythm and blues samples, especially since the 90s. Since the 90s, rhythm and blues samples. A lot of sampled R&B. But they're sampling other R&B. They're not sampling rap. No rhythm and blues singer is going back and sampling Larry Smith and Houdini. Not happening. But Kendrick did sample Teddy Pendergrass. Them superpowers been neutralized. That's Teddy P. Nas on King's Disease 3, sampling a song that my father-in-law composed 45 years ago. A B-side to the Commodores. On King's Disease 3, sampling it's a reason why. No, jazz does not sample. Jazz may cover a song, but jazz don't sample. You gotta understand the purpose. Jazz is always moving music forward. Jazz is really our classical sound. See, jazz is black classical, but our classical is forever progressing. Jazz is where the rhythm and blues artists get the new chords to play with. Jazz is always trying something new. So the jazz musicians are the ones that produce the new ways to play with the chords and the progressions that later on get adopted by rhythm and blues. Yeah, jazz is never satisfied. Jazz is always pushing it forward. Jazz is what creates the new melodies and the new harmonies for the rest of us that love popular music to enjoy later on. The first beat that Kendrick Lamar used to get his demo on his demo was by Terrace Martin, a jazz musician. Jazz is the root. Jazz is the water and the soil. Yeah, that and funk. Yeah, funk. That's nothing funk was doing. Funk was that's why they killed funk. That's why they killed funk. Funk was pushing it forward. Funk was using rhythm and blues stylings fused with jazz innovation. That's why funk had to be killed off. No, funk's still alive. I'm talking about as far as through the record industry. Rhythm and blues is still king. When I'm saying rhythm and blues is king, that's when it comes to popular music. Jazz is king when it comes to innovative and creative music. Nothing's ever going to outdo jazz when it comes to creating funk. The best funk bands, even though funk is around, funk got killed off and got targeted because when you hear where Steve Arrington and those guys was taking funk in the early 80s and Rick James, they were taking funk to a new area. They were really pushing funk, that third generation of funk. James Brown and Sly and Ward, they're the first generation of funk. Isaac Hayes, second generation of funk, Parliament Funkadelic. You know, that was the strongest generation. Slave and Lakeside and Ohio Players. And then that third generation of funk when Steve Arrington broke off and then Gap Band, Rick James coming around with that punk funk. Rick James was taking it somewhere with punk funk. Kendrick, the whole To Pimp a Butterfly was put together like by Robert Glasper, Kamasi, Terrace Martin. That's why I love the Pimp Butterfly is my favorite Kendrick album because it was produced by Thundercat. It was produced by jazz musicians. It was composed by jazz musicians. And Kendrick keep Kamasi around close. Kamasi is a jazz musician. And that's why, yeah. Yeah, FBA Journal. What's up, FBA Journal? Yeah, y'all, I fucks with FBA Journal. I fucks with you for real. Your IG and everything. I appreciate your channel. Y'all follow FBA Journal. And I fucks with what you got. I be seeing what you be putting up on over on IG, man. I fucks with you for real. Put your IG in the chat. Let everybody know your IG, FBA Journal. Let everybody know your IG. But yeah, they're trying to write funk. They're trying to write funk out of history, and I'm not gonna let it happen. They're trying to write funk out of history. How, Dewan? I'll tell you how they're writing funk out of history. When I watch Sly and the Family Stone's documentary, they call Sly and the Family Stone a rock band when they're a funk band. Thank you for letting me be myself again. That's funk. In Time, that's funk. Hey, y'all follow Artist Life 1992 on IG. I like that dude's IG, man. I like what you do. Y'all follow that person because he reposts a lot of dope shit. He reposts my stuff sometimes, but I appreciate all the stuff that he posts on IG. He's always posting something that made me be like, oh shit. But they didn't even mention funk one time when talking about Sly and the Family Stone. When I watched that Michael Jackson Thriller documentary, they mentioned Beat It being rock, but they didn't mention Billie Jean being funk. Some of the greatest funk songs was done, and when it gets talked about, it doesn't get mentioned as funk. They never classified Billie Jean as a funk song when it is. That Louis Johnson 8th Note Walk on Bass is funk. It's On the One. They're trying to write funk out of history. And Clive Davis has a lot to do with that. Clive Davis said in you find in Whitney Houston's documentary that he did in Whitney Houston's documentary. I gotta stand up for a second. You find that Clive Davis literally said according to her documentary, that the Gamblin' Huff and those producers that produced her albums, they were instructed to never let Whitney sing none of that George Clinton funk stuff. Clive had go read that book I told you about, Hitmen. Go read that book. It talks about what Clive tried to do and those guys tried to do with Casablanca Records, all that funk Casablanca was putting out. Yeah. They do y'all know that George Clinton signed Roger Troutman and Zapp and Roger? And he was about to do his own record label because what George did was he'd have like his different acts at different labels. Casablanca being the main one for Parliament, but he had all of his act, Bootsy over here, the Brides of Funkenstein over there, Bernie Worrell over here. And he just signed Zapp, and they came crashing down on George Clinton. The industry targeted him. They killed funk. And then the funk songs that made it through, they don't acknowledge those songs as funk. Because Beat It, even though the album was Thriller and Thriller was the biggest video, the biggest song on the Thriller album was Billie Jean. That was the biggest song on the Thriller album. If you don't account for the Thriller video, Billie Jean is the biggest song on that album. Straight up, eighth note walk, funk. Straight up funk. But it doesn't get acknowledged as funk. It doesn't get acknowledged as funk. They're writing funk out the history. But we're gonna be live again tomorrow. I was gonna come on, go to Jaguar Wright's channel. Watch the interview we did today with Dr. Short and Jag. Go to my Patreon to get our Q&A. I'll put some clips up on maybe later on, but yeah. It's deep, man. But we gotta take some of that dip off hip-hop's chip. Hip-hop spent too long on R&B's umbilical cord to be sticking his chest out and not acknowledging rhythm and blues. Yeah, I'm loving what Southern Soul is doing in juke joint music. I'm glad that's coming back. For sure, Lori, I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all for being interested, man, because I'm telling people before, Larry will tell you when he comes on here, I would talk music on Facebook 10 years ago, and I would be 2 likes. Say something I'm telling y'all now. 2 likes, maybe 3. So this whole tether problem is a good. Fat Joe, Busta Rhymes, all this shit that we dealing with now with our music history, it's probably a good thing because black people, I'm here to tell you 10 years ago, 8 years ago, hell, 5 years ago, weren't interested. People, I've been talking this shit. Wasn't nobody interested. But we started to really come together around this stuff and started to get interested when we saw people were trying to take it. Whatever it takes for people to be interested. We're interested now, so that's all that matters. You're right, Dexter. Opposition brought us together, right? Opposition brought us together. Yep. But we're here now, so shit, I appreciate y'all for listening. I'll be with y'all tomorrow. I'm out.